Good morning and welcome. I forgot it. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Desert. I am Denise Janssen-Eager, and it is my honor to be your worship associate for today's service, Ingathering, a Mingling of Waters. Just like the waters that pool together, after 5.5 months away from the desert, it really does my heart good to be back home in this deep wellspring that together we call our beloved community. Before we begin, would you take a moment to silence your phones and pagers and any of those assorted things we have? As we begin, we acknowledge that we are on the historic homelands of the various bands of Cahuilla people, and we honor the unique relationships that we hope emerges between our community and the indigenous people and their traditional territories. Let this acknowledgement serve as a reminder to recognize, honor, reconcile, and partner with the Cahuilla people whose lands and water we benefit from today. Welcome. We're so glad you're here with us today. Returnees, members, old friends, new friends. When we look forward to getting you know you better during our coffee time. We have a few announcements. We'd have to be UUs if we didn't have any. When I'm not the worship associate, I'm our social justice co-chair. So of course, I'm starting out with a few announcements from our committee. Great news, the Side with Love t-shirts have arrived and they're here. Aren't they beautiful? If you ordered one, you can pick it up after the service today in the lobby. If you didn't get a chance to order one, but plan to participate in the Pride Parade, don't despair, we got you covered. You can still wear a Standing on the Side of Love t-shirt. Let me know if you need one, and we'll get you one from someone else. Can you believe that the Pride Parade is only 3 weeks away? This year, you have the choice of walking or riding because we have 2 vehicles. And we anticipate they will seat between about 15 people. But to help us determine how many will be participating, specifically riding, you must sign up regardless whether you plan to walk or to ride. There's a sign-up sheet in the lobby, or you can sign up on the link that was in last Friday's newsletter. And we will be decorating the trunk after the day before the parade in the early afternoon. It should only take an hour or so. And so please let me know if you want to come and join and help decorate. And now we will hear from Carol Lavoie, Randy Steele, and finally Sandy Sladen. Come on up. Well, you guys decide.
Hi. First of all, I want to apologize in advance in case I get a text. My daughter has a sick cat, and I have my phone with me, so I apologize ahead of time. As of today, we have 115 auction items, and everything from soup, and that would include French onion, split pea, and turkey noodle, to nuts, and that's the peanut butter cookies. So we have everything and everything in between, and now we need bidders. So if you would please consider coming to the auction. The live auction the silent auction is Friday, November 3rd, and it's open all day here from 10 to 4, and it's called the Best Bid Silent Auction. So you just drop in, you walk through the auction items that are in the community room, you decide what you want to bid on, you fill out a little card with the item and the highest bid that you're willing to pay, and you drop it in at the end of as you leave. And at the end of the day, you'll get an email if you're one of the winners. The live auction is the next day, Saturday, starting at 6:30 to 8:30. We have 41 live auction items that are really pretty fabulous. At the live auction, what makes this a little different than other auctions is when you look at the catalog and you'll see dinner for 10 at Jerry and Rob's, for example, you don't need to buy all 10 seats. You can just bid on 1 or 2 or 3. And it's easy to do, and the auctioneers will explain it to you on the night of the live auction, and just is a matter of holding up fingers. And it's kind of a nice way. When I first came, I bid on a lot of these, and you end up having meals with people you probably wouldn't normally sit down with and meet new friends. The tickets are available. It's $10 for the live auction. The silent auction, there's no charge. You can sign up out on the patio after the auction. You can pay by check, charge, which would be put on a bill, or cash. And you can also sign up online. There was a constant contact or in the newsletter. Let me just make sure, because I'm thinking about that cat. It's just a reminder, I'm looking at Chris, who's sitting in the front, who's the head of our finance committee. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and it's really important to the financial health of UUCOD. So please plan on attending and bring a friend if you want. Other people are invited too. So thank you.
I'm just going to use my inside voice today, so yep. Okay. I have to be up here. Sorry. I forgot we were online. So 2 quick announcements. We've got new member orientation coming up the next couple of weeks on the 22nd and 29th. See Tracy out in the foyer, or LeGrand, or myself if you're interested in that. And then we also have sacred and celebration stones that are being ordered that we're going to be displaying on December 3rd. So I'll be out on the table outside on the patio if you have any questions or interest in that. I have order forms today. So thank you all.
Good morning. I'm up here representing the Script to Stage to Screen, which is a theater program associated with UUCOD, for those of you who don't know. And following Shirley Lemaster's impassioned plea last year for new volunteers from our congregation, for the executive team, Margaret Manson and I and Jim and Levon Swanson signed up, so we're raring to go. For those of you who don't know, S2S2S, which is shorthand, is a unique opportunity for playwrights to have their plays seen and heard and to receive feedback from live audiences. And the productions are both script readings as well as play productions with costumes and staging and props, and so it really makes it kind of unique and different and fun. This year, we're going to be producing 8 plays this season, and the first one, which is why I'm here, is called Together, and it will be performed this coming weekend, October 20th and 21st. And here's a little description, a little teaser. Helen, an astronomer, has discovered an asteroid will hit the Earth in 6 months. As chaos is about to envelop the world, Helen visits her ex-husband David late one evening after he has conducted a stressful dinner party. So what happens next? So the show begins at 7:30. The doors open at 7. Tickets are $15, which is still the best theater value in the Valley. And we're really excited about being involved. We look forward to seeing you and hoping you'll support the theater productions, particularly this weekend. And come have a glass of wine, buy a raffle ticket for a really cool asteroid-themed gift basket. Sit back and enjoy the show.
And if you would like to be on our email list to learn more about us and the many programs we offer, please contact us at admin@uucod.org. That's ADMIN at uucod.org. And now, let's ring our Tibetan bowl to begin our service and then listen to our music of centering.
Good morning. We come together today in community once again. We come together today in a world that has reminded us that along with love there is hatred, along with the quest for peace there is senseless violence, and that along with the thriving of life there is the finality of death. I want to tell you that here in this room on Friday evening, our siblings of the Desert Outreach Synagogue gathered for their regular monthly Shabbat service. The gathering was not at all regular. It was a gathering of broken and fearful hearts in the face of the violence and death of the past week in Israel and Palestine. Their community gathered in grief and anger, but also in resolve and hope and love, crying out for peace and justice and reminding each other that they were never alone. It was my honor to be there, to share with the DOS community the love of this community, to assure them that we were holding their broken hearts with our own, that they were not alone. And they shared with me their gratitude for our welcoming of them into our spiritual home, into the community of our love. And on their behalf, I say to you, thank you. This is why we gather as well, to remind ourselves that we are not alone, to hold and to love each other. This community which gathers us in again today. A community which gathers us as the oceans gather the waters of the world. We bring here our tenderness and our sadness, tears falling like the rain. We bring our exhaustion and our weariness, like the hidden waters of the desert. We gather our strength and our passion and our joy, like the rushing white waters flowing into lakes and into rivers. We gather our anger like the hurricane floods. We gather our patience, like the ice and the glacier, growing and retreating, moving with slow, ancient hope. And we gather our hope like springs pumping up water from deep in the earth, mingling with the other waters, falling down mountains, flowing into lakes, into rivers, and eventually all of it flowing into the great ocean. Gather our love into which all of us flows, our love for ourselves, our love for this earth, our home, our love for the sustenance we carry from each other, our love which holds our neighbors and kin close when their worlds explode, our love which echoes our own joy at being and being together, our love for this community, our love gathered like the ocean. As the ocean gathers the waters of the world, the rain and snow, the springs and oases, the icebergs and glaciers, the rivulets and streams and lakes and rivers, the heart of this community gathers our sadness and tenderness, our exhaustion and weariness, our strength and passion and joy, our anger and our patience and our hope. And so we come together again in great gladness to be a community renewed as the ocean is renewed, always here, but brought to life again as we gather for a new year of possibility and hope, gathered together today in worship. Friends, it is so wonderful to be together again. And we're going to sing that togetherness as we sing Gathered Here, our opening song. We'll stay seated, and I'm going to invite you to, we'll sing it through a couple of times, maybe three times, until we get it, and then we'll split into two parts. And I'm going to invite you at some point while we're singing, I'm going to start clapping or something like that, and I invite you to join me in that if you feel comfortable. If it's too much for you, let it go and just sing, okay? So can we just have our starting pitch anyway?
Gathered
I'm always amazed at what he brings and what he brings out of us when we sing together. Thank you. Please join with me with the unison words on the screen as together we light this chalice this morning. We gather as many drops, each winding our own down life's surface and ruts. Here we pool together as a single body, flowing together for a time. Together we are a stream, at times even a river, for with our shared force we can travel towards oceans of meaning and seas of connection. We light our chalice today as a symbol of our gathering, as a community, and as a symbol of that meaning and connection. And now please join me with the words on the screen as Legrand Velez lights our BioPOC candles. We light these candles in solidarity with Black, Indigenous, and other people of color as we journey together towards spiritual wholeness. May we, as a beloved community, work to dismantle racism and all forms of oppression. May we live out our principles so that justice, dignity, and equity for all prevail. This month's Share the Plate.
Soon. She's excited about it. It is the practice, friends, in many Unitarian Universalist congregations to begin the church year, which is what we are doing. We do it a little later than other folks because it's just too hot still on Labor Day. To begin the year with a water communion, a water ceremony, a gathering together of waters collected on the journeys of the summer, and to share where these waters come from, water from many diverse places poured into a common bowl, mingled, as the returning community mingles. This has been the practice of this congregation in the past, and is the practice of many of our Unitarian Universalist siblings each year, celebration of coming back together. And as we have challenged ourselves over the past while, as we have been asked to challenge ourselves to see and understand the ways in which our individual lives and circumstances may be different from those of our neighbors, the ways that the resources that we may enjoy that allow for travel and time away may be different than the resources that others have, we have looked at this ritual, this practice anew. In the last few years of pandemic and isolation have also reminded us to see and understand that there are those who are unable to travel far because their bodies will not allow it, or their health keeps them home, or for whom even the smallest illness could be devastating. And so we're going to do things a little differently this year. Whatever the summer months brought into your life, whether it was travel or learning or quiet reflection or reconnection with loved ones and friends, or just the same day-to-dayness of it all, of all the other months, whatever the summer months brought into your life, I'd like you to take a moment to reflect, to ponder, to wonder to yourself, what newness did it bring to you? What renewal? What possibility? What new thing was kindled in your heart or your mind or your spirit that you are bringing back with you to this community as we begin our new year together? I invite you to ponder that for a moment. And I'm going to invite us now to share that together, to share something out loud in a moment that we bring with us today. Now, we didn't ask you to gather water over the summer. We're going to use symbolic water today. I mean, real water, but symbolic of other things. Gathered from this place that we call home and made a little bit new by what we share. The water of this place that we drink and bathe in and use to keep our plants alive, this water that is normal, basic water that we will make new by our intentions. At the front of the room, you see 4 pitchers of water. In a moment, I'm going to invite you to come forward as you can or want to take one of the pitchers and pour a little bit of water into the common bowl. And I will be standing right there with a microphone, and I'll ask you to speak into the microphone and share what the newness is and where you bring it from or what you bring it from. That might be a place, it might be an experience, it might be home. And so I'm going to invite us to do this together, and so that we don't have a huge traffic jam, we're going to go section by section of the room. And so when I ask your section to come up, if you could come up this way and walk in front, put bowl, speak in the microphone, and return by the back way. Does that make sense? So even those of you, we're all going to make the same path, but we'll start with these sections. Does that make sense to everybody? So I'm going to head over here and grab the microphone, and I invite this far section, if you're comfortable and willing, to come up and pour some water into the bowl and share a newness that you bring with you. Anyone? Sarit? Yep. Come on.
Possibility.
Deeper connections.
Have to add some metaphorical concrete mix to the waters to form a gel to sort of stiffen our resolve as a congregation.
A new sense of appreciation for living in community with all of you.
New love.
Folks in this section.
We've had a chance to go to memorial services for people this summer, and you realize how wonderful it is to have shared their life. And then we just found out we're going to be great-grandparents in January.
That's some wonderful newness.
To honor our son, Beacon Foundation Memoriam, in the name of our son, Keishon.
I am happy to have a new appreciation of food.
We had a chance to be in Bordeaux, France this summer. And I'd like this water to nurture the grapes.
Just an appreciation for all of our Canadian friends and friends around the world that traveled and made it back safely to us. Thank you.
Hope. Not wanting to share today.
So some newfound freedom from retiring and also some lessening of family obligations.
Appreciation for the contrasts in Mother Nature, and that comes from having spent time in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, where we spent time on the ocean and in those beautiful evergreens, and we need those. Thanks.
And while we were there, we witnessed young love and marriage, and that's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Gratitude.
I was pleased to go to Texas to meet my great-grandson, who was very hospitable and helpful to Grandma, getting her walker in and out of the car.
I went on a Rhine River cruise this summer, my very first cruise, and I found new friends.
Sandy and I took an 8-week road trip. We drove 10,383 and a half miles. We kept track. And I'm here to tell you, it truly is America the Beautiful. The importance of reconnecting with good friends and family on the East Coast.
Forgiveness.
We too went on a road trip and made wonderful discoveries about the United States. And the discoveries included finding the UUOC church.
We only drove 6,000 miles.
A summer of healing after miraculously being awakened from a coma.
We stayed put this summer, but we had lots of family around, so new appreciation for family.
Gratitude for the people that do service to keep this incredible community alive and thriving, even in the summertime.
A renewed commitment and clearer focus on what truly matters most in life.
So happy to finally find my home, which is in the forest.
And I'm happy to be with him there.
Gratitude and appreciation to be able to travel, and the ability and gratitude to be able to come home.
New awareness, new connection, and new love for this home of ours in the desert. It is in great joy that we are together again. We'll come back to this water in a little bit.
This month's Share the Plate begins the first of 9 recipients that you, our beloved congregation, selected last April. Over these next 9 months, we will be hearing updates from favorite nonprofit organizations as well as new ones. Each collection is split 50-50, with half going to the good works of our church and half to the nonprofit organization. Today's Share the Plate, CSUSB Street Medicine Program, falls into the latter category. Margaret Beedman, who nominated it and is the liaison, won't you please come up and introduce this wonderful organization?
It's my pleasure to introduce you a friend and colleague from Cal State San Bernardino, which brought me to the desert. And she is the director of the Nursing Street Medicine Program. She developed it, she's helped fund it, she's got partners all over the valley. She's the co-founder and co-facilitator of the Coachella Valley Street Outreach Collaborative, with over 50 people who provide the outreach services to the homeless and unhoused in the valley. Please welcome Dr. Vines.
So I can't see exactly what is happening, but let's do the next slide. Sarah can't be here today. She's our lead nursing student assistant, and she's in Boston presenting with one of our graduate research assistant, the program to a World Congress there. So we've been traveling and talking about the program all over the country. And so this is why we started. This is the reason why we exist. There's the street medicine program provides regular care at clinics. It is part of the community, and that we provide also part of our community and mental health rotations. So we have both students who are coming for clinical credit and students who come as volunteers. We now also have College of the Desert nursing students who participate. And we work in partnership with about 12 or 13 organizations, service organizations across the desert. We do vital signs, blood pressure, pulse, respiration, oxygen level. We do wound care. We do blood glucose readings, which of course is very important. A lot of health teaching. We do referrals to all sorts of sources. And we distribute hygiene products and clothing and shoes. If any of you have used clothing and shoes, my husband's our wardrobe manager, and our garage has been full of the neighborhood donations, so we always love that, and hygiene products also. And then we work also with physicians and pharmacists from Desert Physicians Medical Group, which is with Desert Regional Medical Center. And then with them we do bi-monthly clinics at Our Lady of Guadalupe. Okay? So the background is that unhoused populations in Coachella Valley increased 12% between 2022 and 23. And this is based on the point-in-time count. Maybe you've heard about that, but people go out, volunteers go out and count everybody. And of course, it's a big undercounting because everybody hides. If you're living in your car, you take your car and put it someplace nobody can find you because of the fear of being reported or being deported. And so we serve both the homeless and migrant populations and the poor elderly. But the unsheltered individuals increased 23% in 1 year. And the largest increases were in families and older adults with fixed incomes who could no longer afford their rent. And that's scary. We also have a hospital culture of discourtesy to the homeless people. PEH is really our people experiencing homelessness. And there are few interventions that we do in order to teach that to nursing students. So that was very important for us that we do that. And so we want to decrease the stigmatization and help provide compassionate care when these students get out and are working in various settings. The homeless actually walk 10 miles a day on average, and often they come in with ill-fitting shoes. They may be falling off their feet and they may have taped them on, and they often suffer from easily treated foot conditions like athlete's feet or corns or calluses, and they lack access to adequate foot care. But there are another reason for adding foot soaks. So the next slide, please. So here you see an example of our foot soaks. This is a fairly recent addition to our program. The students sit on a low chair, and the homeless person sits in a little stool, and the homeless person sits in a chair. So already there's a power differential between them. So the homeless person is in charge. And very few people look them in the eye or even talk to them. And our students soak their feet for 10 minutes in mineral salts and essential oils of their choosing. And during that time, they talk to them about their life. They ask them about them and let them talk about themselves. And we do that with therapeutic communication, and so the students are learning that as well. And they learn empathy. So this next slide, we aren't going to play it, but if you ever get a chance to watch the Brene Brown video on empathy, it's just wonderful. And the difference between sympathy and empathy. Empathy is being with someone and feeling with them. And our students must watch that before they go out. And then the other one that they watch is a video on starting a conversation with a stranger. And it's in the middle of an urban area intersection where strangers get into one of those ball things, and they pick up a ball and say, something like, "What is your favorite movie?" And that starts the conversation, and they find out they have so many things in common. And we want the students to feel that way about the homeless person. So now the next slide shows you what we've done. We serve more than 400 unique individuals a year. We've done 1,100 plus foot soaks performed to date. The homeless people love the foot soaks. It's wonderful. No one would ever look at their feet. They're always embarrassed because their feet look terrible, and they don't want to. But after we do the soak, then they do a massage with oils, and then we give them clean socks and a toenail clipper, so that in case they need to do that. So we do about 6 to 14 clinics a month. And these are all nurse-run, not nurse practitioner-run even. And we refer if someone needs a prescription or something that a doctor needs to do that we can't do, we refer them for other care. The foot soaks have been replicated all over the country. One in the Inland Empire, the UC Riverside School of Medicine medical students are learning how to do foot soaks, which is quite interesting. We also have to teach them how to do manual blood pressures because nobody ever does that anymore because they're in the hospital. So the UC Riverside School of Medicine has replicated it. Also, New York City Health and Hospitals and Bellevue are now doing foot soaks, and the Mayo Clinic in Rochester has replicated this. And the students, when we spoke last week in Florida at the American Psychiatric Nursing Association, and we now have 2 other communities around the country that want to replicate what we're doing. They want to replicate it with nursing students. This is something so we had 2 major goals. One was to serve the homeless, and the second was to teach empathy and compassionate communication and therapeutic communication skills to our nursing students. So when they get out, they are different than the average nurse who runs into a homeless person in the hospital. And I think I'm allowed my time, but I would say one other thing. We are working with these organizations that were mentioned with the collaborative, and we have now things like at Our Lady of Guadalupe free lunch programs in Palm Springs every Friday. We are now working with the medical unit from the medical van from the Desert Regional Medical Center, and we also have attracted 2 shower units because, again, that's something that they never get a chance to do. And those, both one from Southwest Church and one from the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission. And then we also have a hairstylist who comes and cuts their hair, both men and women. And we have the risk management people coming from DAP who provide things. We also provide condoms, and we provide a lot of those thermal blankets, both for winter and summer, that are very important out in the desert. And so we all work together, and we've been very happy that we've been able to attract them. And St. Margaret's Church is now trying to start something called Laundry Love, where one day a month, a laundromat will close down for a few hours, usually in the evening, and the church members will come with their quarters and feed the machines and help people do their laundry. And that, again, is something that just never happens for these people. So I hope that you will appreciate us, and if you want to donate your old clothing, or any of your neighbors have anything, or shoes, please let us know. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Diana. Thank you for creating opportunities for humanity among the unhoused population.
The love that is connection, the love that is hope. So we pause now in silent resting in that love. May all beings know peace. May all beings know an end to suffering. May all beings know love. I invite you to join now with your voices as we sing together our hymns for meditation, Spirit of Life, and Fuente de Amor.
Compassion
We return to our water now with a reading from Ursula Le Guin. I know what I want, she writes. I want to live with courage, with compassion, in patience and in peace. The way of the warrior fully admits only the first of these and wholly denies the last. The way of the water admits them all. The flow of a river is a model for me of courage that can keep me going, carrying me through the bad places. Courage and the bad times, a courage that is compliant by choices and uses force only when compelled, always seeking the best way, the easiest way, but if not finding any easy way, still always going on. The cup of water that gives itself to thirst is a model for me of the compassion that gives itself freely. Water is generous, tolerant, does not hold itself apart, lets itself be used by any need. Water goes, as Lao Tzu says, to the lowest places, the vile places, accepts contamination, accepts foulness, and yet comes through again, always as itself, pure, cleansed, and cleaning. Running water and the sea are models for me of patience, their easy, steady obedience to necessity, to the pull of the moon in the sea tides and the pull of the earth always downward, the immense power of that obedience. I have no models for peace, she writes, only glimpses of it, metaphors for it, similes to what I cannot fully grasp and hold. A bowl of clear water, a boat drifting on a slow river, a lake among hills, the vast depths of the sea, a drop of water at the tip of a leaf, the sound of rain, the sound of a fountain, the bright dance of water spray from a garden hose, the scent of wet earth. We, this community, has gathered here today and used water to share the newness of our lives that we bring back to this community at the beginning of a new congregational year. We have mingled the waters of experience, of possibility, of renewal, of love, of memory. We've mingled the waters as our lives are intermingled with each other's. And the water we have gathered will not just be discarded after today. It is the tradition in many places to use these mingled waters for the ministry of the year ahead, in rituals and blessings to nurture growth and connection. In many congregations, the water, after it has been sterilized, of course, is used to bless the heads of children who are born or adopted into the community. It is used to bless the ground where dear ones are buried. Here in this congregation, this water will be used as we remembered our loved ones who have come before us and as we craft new terrains for life around us. We will use this water in the months to come to bless our new memorial garden and to water the sacred grounds of our new native gardens. The waters of our experiences, nurturing and blessing memory and possibility, the gratitude for lives well lived, and the hope for new life to thrive. And so we will bless this mingled water together now, singing together, as we imagine these new possibilities and dedicate ourselves to the ministry of this place, this community, this congregation. The words of the sung blessing will be on the screen. Malcolm and I are going to start, and I invite you to join us as you figure out how it goes. And it's not bad. Holy waters, make us new. Holy waters, make us whole. Holy waters, make us free. Holy waters, make us one. May this water share the life and love of this community with all it touches. Will you rise now, and we're going to sing more. Will you rise now in body or in spirit as we sing joyfully together our closing hymn, Blue Boat Home.
I will never be able to get through that song without crying. Please join with me, the words on the screen, as we extinguish our chalice this morning. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
The words of Kaylee Rice. It starts with a drop, and then a trickle, a burble, a rush of water bubbling toward its destination, and finally the wide, endless sea. All rivers run to the sea. Today, we shared water, poured it into a common bowl. Though our experiences have differed, these waters mingle, sharing our common humanity. Today, you came and shared in this sacred community. May you depart this sacred space, hearts filled with hope for new beginnings, a fresh start. Go forth, but return to this community where the rivers of tears may be shed, where dry souls are watered, where your joy bubbles, where your life cup overflows, where deep in your spirit you have found in this place a home. All rivers run to the sea. Go in peace, my friends, to love and serve the world.